Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Eric. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. What are your notes really for? Are you just trying to remember what you read, or are you trying to generate new ideas, solve those really tricky problems, and basically have insights on demand for your next big thing? We all want that second one, right? But what usually happens?
Well, our notes, the ones we spent so much time on, they end up in a graveyard, a digital folder we never open again. We trick ourselves into thinking we learned something, but that knowledge, it never really sticks. It's kind of like buying a bunch of fancy organic ingredients for a great meal and then just letting them rot in the fridge. Today, we're going to learn how to start cooking.
So, here's the core issue. We focus on collecting information, not connecting it. See, traditional notes are all about hoarding facts. You put them in these neat little silos, a folder for this book, a doc for that meeting. It feels super productive, but a lot of it is just fake effort. Smart notes, on the other hand, are the total opposite. It's all about connecting ideas, building a network, and sparking real, deep thinking. Your notes stop being a dead end and become the launchpad for everything else.
And the guy who came up with this was a German sociologist named Niklas Luhmann. His output was, well, insane. We're talking over 70 books and hundreds of articles. When people asked him how on earth he did it, he pointed to his card box. It was a physical collection of over 90,000 interconnected notes. This thing wasn't just storage, it was a second brain. It was a thinking partner that helped him generate a constant stream of insights.
So in this explainer, we're going to break down his method into 3 simple parts. First, we'll look at why your current system is probably failing you. Then we'll get into the science of why this new way works so well. And finally, I'll give you a super practical 4-step workflow you can start using, like today.
All right, let's get into it. Part 1, why your notes fail. To build something better, you've got to understand what's broken in the first place.
Okay, so traditional note-taking has 2 fatal flaws. First, we confuse being busy with actual learning. Highlighting a whole page or copying a quote word for word. It feels good, right? It feels like you're doing something. But it's mostly just a mechanical task that tricks our brains. The second flaw is how we organize things. We file notes by where they came from. A folder for book A, another for podcast B. This creates these information silos, and it makes it basically impossible for an idea from the book to have a conversation with an idea from the podcast.
So, how do we fix it? The Smart Note system has 3 types of notes. It all starts with fleeting notes. These are just those quick, random thoughts you have in a shower or on a walk. The goal here is just to get it down fast, on your phone, a sticky note, whatever. But here's the catch. They are temporary. You absolutely have to process them in a day or 2, or that idea is gone forever.
Next up, we have literature notes. This is what you do when you're actually reading a book or taking a course. Now, the crucial rule here is don't just copy. You have to translate. Read a paragraph, close the book, and then try to explain the concept in your own words. That one simple step forces you to actually understand it. It's the only way to know if you've really learned something. And of course, quickly jot down the source so you can find it later.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of the system, permanent notes. These are the gems you create from your other notes. The rules are simple, 1 single idea per note, and you write it out like you're explaining it to someone who has no context. But here's the most important part. You have to ask yourself, what does this connect to that I already know? Then you go into your collection and create actual links between this new idea and the old ones. This right here is the shift from just collecting to truly connecting.
Now, I know you might be thinking, this sounds interesting, but is it really that different? And the answer is a huge yes, because this system is designed to work with your brain, not against it. It actually uses proven cognitive science to make learning feel almost effortless.
The first big principle is something called elaboration. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. Our brains remember things way better when we connect them to stuff we already know and then explain it. The act of writing a permanent note forces you to do exactly that. You have to process it, rephrase it, and spell it out. It's the ultimate test of understanding, and it creates these really strong memory pathways.
The second principle is how the system naturally reinforces what you've learned. When you're looking for old notes to connect a new one to, you're doing something called retrieval practice. You're actively recalling information, which is way more powerful than just rereading it. And as you follow those links to older notes, you're also doing spaced repetition without even trying. You're revisiting old ideas at random intervals.
You're not forcing yourself to use flashcards. These powerful memory techniques are just built right into the workflow.
But honestly, the real magic, the part that's a total game changer, is what happens over time. It's called emergence. See, a normal notebook is just a container. This system, it's a dynamic, living network. The value isn't just in the notes themselves, it's in the connections between them. As your network grows, you start to see these surprising patterns between ideas from completely different topics. That's emergence. New insights that literally grow out of the system itself. Your notes become a real partner in thinking.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now for the really important part, the how. Let's walk through the exact steps to start building your own second brain. And remember, the specific tool you use is way less important than the process. First up, your tools. You can go old school with physical index cards just like Luhmann. The big pro there is focus, no digital distractions. Or you can use a digital app like Obsidian or Roam Research. They make searching and linking ridiculously easy. My advice? Just pick one and start. Don't get stuck here. The magic is in the workflow, not the app.
So here it is, the engine that drives this whole thing. It's a simple 4-step loop you just repeat over and over. 1. Capture those fleeting ideas as soon as they pop up. 2. Process what you're reading by putting it into your own words. 3. Distill your best thoughts in a single idea permanent notes. And 4, the most important step of all, connect that new note back into your existing web of ideas. That's it.
So let's wrap this up. We've seen why the old way of taking notes doesn't work. We've understood the science that makes this method so powerful, and now you have the practical workflow. It really all comes down to a fundamental paradigm shift. You need to stop being just a collector of information and start becoming a creator of knowledge. Look, building this system takes a little patience, but the compounding effect is incredible. Just think about this for a second. If you commit to making just one permanent note every single day, after 1 year, you will have a personal knowledge base of 365 deeply considered, interconnected ideas. That is an unbelievable asset. It's a gift to your future self.
Ultimately, what this method does is change your entire relationship with information. It turns learning from a chore into a creative act. It gives you the confidence that all your hard work is actually building something real, something that lasts. Your ideas no longer die in a notebook. They come alive in a network. I really hope this explainer was helpful for you. If you got some value out of it, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it so other people can find it too. And hey, if there's a book you want us to break down next, just drop it in the comments below. Thanks for your time. I'm Eric, and I'll see you in the next one.